Namaste. Let us ask for divine blessings to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, Guru Master Jokotsu. You may invoke your own Guru or teacher. Mahaguruji meaning all the great ones, Holy Gurus, Holy Masters, Saints, Archangels, Holy Angels, spiritual helpers, all invisible helpers, divine helpers. Thank you for your divine blessings. Atma Namaste. So, I don't know, while we were doing the prayers, it just came to me, maybe I should talk a little about a few things. One is about the COVID-19 because I've been hearing, close people suffering with it, and some of them, very close associates, have also passed away. So, as I had said earlier, that, you know, very few people actually are having COVID-19 because of physical reasons, that their immunity is low, that they cannot withstand this virus, because actually, in reality, the energy and power of the virus is much less than what our energies are. Our vibrations are much higher, because this is like a small molecule of, a bacteria, which is in the mineral kingdom. It is not also in the animal kingdom. It is not also in the plant kingdom. How can it rise to the human kingdom and affect the lives of human beings? It is from the mineral kingdom, it's from the lower, it's a lower being. It does not have power. But number one, we are empowering it by our fears, by our panic, by our, whatever we are actually creating a thought form that, oh, I'm going to be affected. The moment you hear that you are affected by COVID-19, oh, I'm going to die, oh, I can't breathe, it's a psyche. Then you are actually empowering it more and more. I think I'm having breathing problem, I think I can't move, I think I can, you are thinking of creating these. Why I am telling you is that all of you should be aware, because it's actually rampantly, affecting people. I'm not trying to scare, I'm trying to empower you. I have been through chronic COVID. When I was diagnosed, I mean, before I was diagnosed, I knew I had COVID. Those who are aware of it, I have myself gone through COVID-19, so I'm aware what it is, because I was actually severely affected by it. 3rd of November, I flew down from Dehradun to Bombay. 4th of November, 3rd, yes, 4, no, not also 4th, I think 5th. I had not gone out, huh? By the way. I just moved into home and I was at home. 5th November, 4th evening, I was feeling feverish under my feet, only my feet. I was not feeling anywhere, anything else. The moment I was feeling feverish under my feet, I knew that I had COVID. So 5th, I called the people to do the test. They did the test. 6th, the diagnosis came positive. And by that time, of course, I started healing myself, and also I started doing my practices, which would help my, to eradicate. I knew that it is not a reason of, a physical reason. It was actually, I knew that it was trying to cleanse a very big karma, so that it would clear off, my path to receive something big. So what I did was, instead of focusing onto that COVID, I shifted my attention and started focusing on more creative energies. What would I want to do with my life? How would I go about? What would I create? And then I focused into, okay, creating a new home for my children. How would I do it? Then what would I was planning my future. I totally defocused from that. I did not give any power or any energy to that. Of course, I isolated myself, and of course I was taking as required, because there was a lot of pain in the body and weakness and all. And with that, the lung was also damaged with said pulmonary fibrosis. But I did not give any attention. So I did not have any oxygen problem. So I did not have any breathing problem. I was not focusing into it. And that is the time, actually, I would say, I sat those 15 days. I took out my, computer, sat with it, planned my future forward, created the blueprint. What am I going to do now? Next, what am I going to do? What are the areas I will expand in? How will I go about it? I did the entire planning sitting, at that time, sitting on it. So, no matter how much it wanted to affect, it just went away. Within no time, it could not at all affect. It is not powerful, it is powerless. We are giving power to it. Number one, because recently very close associate, one of our group members, I'm not mentioning the name, our family members are affected severely. So we both sat together, introspected, I guided her, and we found out what is the root cause. The root cause, whatever it is, why this thing has come into you. Then you work on that. You learn that lesson. Work on that. Once it is out, you will see it will not be able to affect. Same thing at that point of time when I had COVID. There was a very big challenge in my life, very very big. The one of the biggest challenge in my life had come at that point together, the COVID and that, because it was testing my strength, my inner strength, my patience, my perseverance. It was such a big challenge that I didn't know what to do, how to go about. It was a threat on my shelter, so I was like, I mean, I am humbly, most humbly and gracefully, I'm saying that had I been an ordinary person, I would have been crushed, under that pressure. But as Master has taught us, more than Master here, Maguruji has taught us that convert the worst into the best. So that worst challenge that which came, which was making us shelterless, I converted that into creating a permanent secured shelter for ourselves. So creating, just like what Mahaguruji used to do, the spirits which used to harm people, which used to create problems in their life, diseases, etc. Mahaguruji had made those beings into spiritual beings who would be giving protection to people. So the Rakshas, he converted the Rakshas into, divine Devdutas who would actually start taking care of the people. Who were destroying is now becoming protectors. They are assigned with the responsibility of protecting. That is what we are taught in our school. That's what we learn. So whenever there is a very, very big crisis, a problem, a situation which you think is beyond your control, first thing is surrender to God. That God, it is not in my capacity to, take care of this big thing. You give me the strength, you guide me, you show me the path. I will do whatever you guide me into. And you will see, you will be guided. You will see it will happen, it will work out. It is a test whether we give in or we don't give in, whether we hold on or we let go. Are we holding on to God and God's energies and the powers of God, or do we let go? So there are so many tests. These are the tests of life. If you can pass out this test, each little test, if you look back, introspect in your life, when you look back into your life, each and every challenge that you have had, each and every problem that you have had since childhood, remember those. I'll give you a few seconds. Think about all the problems and all the challenges you have gone through your life. Close your eyes and think about it. Just remember those challenges and problems, severe ones that you've had. We'll be in silence for 30 seconds. Remember those. So as you remember, now you think consciously. You can feel the trauma, the pain, the suffering that you have been through at that point of time. But today, where you stand, if you look back, do you see yourself stronger than before? Are you that? Has that helped you to become stronger? Has that made you more willful? Has that made you wiser? Has that made you, the ability to, I mean, that is today, if you face that same situation, how would you react to it? You would be so much more wise. You would be so much more, it would be easy for you to handle because you are much more stronger than that day. So every challenge in our life is making us grow bigger, bigger, bigger. The challenges and problems are becoming smaller, smaller, smaller. We are becoming bigger, bigger, bigger. So as we are becoming bigger, no matter what comes, you know that Buddha has taught that the only permanent thing is impermanency. Nothing is permanent. It is permanent that there is impermanence in our life, right? For sure, there is impermanence. So the phases that come, that will pass away. Whether it is the happiest moment or whether it is the saddest moment, all will pass away. So take life like you are driving. When you drive a car, the soul is driving the car. The car is the body and all the bodies, right? So the car, as it goes, when you drive a car, there are so many things that pass on both the sides. So many trees, plants, houses, people, vehicles. Do you really notice every one of them? You don't. Maybe one or two, you beautiful house you see, you notice. So let all the phases in your life just pass away like this. Notice only which is very good, or notice the ones which are not very good, rather very bad, so that you can pass that faster. When you see, for example, as you are driving, you see in front there is a bridge, and there is, the bridge is actually a little dangerous. So you are more careful, but you rapidly want to cross over and go on the other side. Under the bridge is a gushing, river which is like wild. So you would actually like to cross over and go to the safe zone fast, not delay in reaching the safe zone, because this side is also not safe and you have to cross. There is no way you can turn around and go back. So you would rather cross it safely and be on the other side. So as you are driving in the path of your life, let everything pass. Only the good which you have noticed, let those memories remain. And the worst that you have gone through, when those have passed, the lessons that you have learned. How did I cross the bridge? Okay, I was careful. I went through only the center. I was not on the side. I let other people pass. The way, the lessons that you've taken while crossing over that bridge, you picked it up and you pass away and you go away and it will go. So I will just talk about a little about, I think I've spoken earlier, but still I will talk about it because I think, it's just flowing. I don't know, maybe there's a reason why it's coming. So just like we have every day is the time in the world, the time concept that we have on earth, it is 24 hours, 12 hours of, actually 12 hours and 12 hours, 12 hours of day, 12 hours of night. That is the earth revolving round, rotating round its own axis. It takes 24 hours. The earth revolving round the sun takes 365 days. We know that this orbit is not circular, it is elliptical. So there is one point of time when it comes near the sun, and there's one point where it goes further away, farthest away from the sun. So when it goes farthest away from the sun is the peak winter. When it comes closest to the sun is the peak summer, right? This is what happens in the solar system. All the planets are going around like this. Now we have the solar system, which is moving. Okay, in this regard, let me give you one more thing. The solar system is also going round and round. Around what? Around the we are in the galaxy, right? In the galaxy, there are so many solar systems. Ours is one. All the solar systems together is moving around the galactic sun, the energy center, the center where the pivot of the energy is, that galactic sun. All the solar systems are moving around this galactic sun. The solar systems are also moving around in the elliptical orbit. It is not a circular orbit. It's moving around in an elliptical orbit, and it takes 24,000 years to move around the galactic sun. So in that orbit, when the galactic sun is in the center, the solar system comes close to the galactic sun and it goes furthest away. So 12,000 years to come closest to the galactic sun, 12,000 years to go to the furthest of the galactic sun. What we know, what is the effect of the sun? The sun gives us prana, energy, life energy. So the sun gives us warmth, light, right? So you already know that, you know, we people who are in the tropical zone, in the equatorial zone, you will see we people are always so happy with high energy, happiness. If you see, if you ask any, you know, I had this, I mean, I've had many, but one of them specifically, I had one, you know, Hollywood actor. I'm sharing his name also, Mark Gordon. He had come. He lives in London. When he had come, and you know, when I met him for quite a few days, and we had a lot of exchanges and interactions about life in England and life in India. So he said most of the people in England are depressed. Almost 6 months, they don't see the sun properly. It's cloudy weather, dull weather. He said, once I've come here, I'm feeling so happy. I see all the people wearing colorful dresses. They're all singing, dancing, happy, merry. There's so much of life here. No matter we are doing everything out there, but there is always an underlying depression in all the people. And what is the reason? Because the sun, the prana, the energy of the sun is absent, like that, like the way we get. They are not getting it. There's less of that energy that they are getting. So our solar system, when the Milky Way glow goes close to the galactic sun, there's so much of that energy center emitting energy. There's so much of life. There's so much of energy that at that point of time, the solar system, our Earth, the people on Earth experience the best of energies, the best of prana, the best of happiness, the best of thoughts, the best of words, the best of emotions, because all positive energies they're getting from the galactic sun. When it goes furthest away, then we are experiencing the worst of emotions, the worst of negative thoughts, all crooked thoughts come into mind because there's absence of positive energy. So then you think of negativity, then you go through negative emotions, negative feelings, you do negative actions. So basically, this has been named as when it comes to the closest to the galactic sun, it's called the Satya Yuga or the Golden Age. When it goes furthest away, that is called the Kali Yuga or the Dark Age. It takes 12,000 years to come to from Satya Yuga or Golden Age to come to the Dark Age. Again, it takes 12,000 years to go there. How is the calculation done? There is a book on this specifically with all the statistical calculations written by Yukteswar, yogi. In fact, I think it's written by his guru. There is a book, Yogic Science. If you read, all the calculations are given, galactic calculations, because actually in the universe there is no time concept. This 12,000 years is calculated as per Earth time. Okay. So it is divided into 3 different yugas or periods, the Treta Yuga, the Dwapara Yuga, like this it has been divided. So this our solar system was at the peak of the um, dark age. The peak was in 432 AD. 432 after death of Jesus. That was the peak of Kali Yuga. If you, the holy science, yes, Yukteswar Guru. Thank you very much, Atul, for reminding me. The holy science, yes. If you read that, maybe you will not understand. So I'm explaining, giving you the base so that you can understand it. So what is happening is when it goes there at the peak, then at that point of time, if you see Jesus was killed, it was going through Ghor Kali Yuga. A man was killed like that with nailed his hands, his legs, his head was nailed. What kind of cruelty, the peak of cruelty that time. If you see that, that was a time when there was savage like things happening all around the world. The world wars came, and when during that period, it was the Kali Yuga, the dark age, where people were destructive. They were thinking negative, they were doing negative, they were feeling negative. That was because the energy, the positive energy of God was not reaching their chakras, auras, thoughts, emotions were all negative. Now we are in the Aquarian age. We are moving towards the golden age. We're moving towards Satya Yuga. It will definitely take 12,000 years, but we have already crossed 2,000 years, right? We are in 2021. So we have already crossed 2,000 years. We are in the second phase now. Now, what is happening as we are moving forward? We are just 10-watt bulbs, right? You know that our energy level is maybe compared to the universal energy, comparatively, we are just 10-watt bulbs. The golden age, this is the galactic sun. The peak of the golden age is over here. That golden age, when we reach, the energy that we will get from the galactic sun will be maybe 1 lakh watts. Can we really handle that energy? Those who are into spirituality, who are into healing, who are into spiritual practices, their energy level maybe is, at least one who has done the basic pranic healing school, basic pranic healing is already 100-watt bulbs. Those who have done Arhatic, they are already beyond 1000 watts. So the more we grow, the more every day we are absorbing this energy, the powers we are absorbing every day from the discourses, from courses, whatever. What is happening is our wattage is increasing, increasing, increasing. So by the time we reach, our souls reach the golden age, those who can build it to 1 lakh watts will survive. Others will just get washed out. That is exactly what is happening. All the, as right from the Kali Yuga as it is going up, all the calamities that are happening, if you understand the higher purpose of it, it is to wash out all the unwanted, undesired souls who cannot handle this power. So it is so much more important for us to understand what we should do. Studying history, geographies, and becoming an engineer or becoming a doctor is not the sole purpose. The sole purpose is to enhance the power of our soul. If the power of the soul is very, very high, we can become the best of doctors, we can become the best of engineers as it is in the world. Our soul will only make us. But that is a lower purpose. You will be in your profession. Those who are healers, they will become better healers. Those who are singers, they will become better singers. Those who are doctors, they will become better medical professionals. In your profession, you will excel. That is a byproduct. You don't have to worry about that. But when your soul grows and your wattage grows, you become empowered to do anything and everything. As Master has said, that you should not work more than 2 hours in a day. You should work only 2 hours in a day, and it should suffice the earning that should take care of your basic needs. You should, beyond that, you should do things which will not only give you abundance, not only give you prosperity, but empower or make you capable of serving, of doing concrete things in the world, creating, something which is your creation. Your contribution should be effective. It should be worthy. It should be worth some. We were not born just to go to school, college, take a qualification, get married, bear children, and die. We are born, may God has brought us to pranic healing. Why? This is one school where you can excel in every area of your life without showing out into the world. 99% of spiritual schools are bent upon, showing off. Oh, this, that, giving, speeches which will impress people. Of course, they are doing. I'm not criticizing anybody. Everybody is doing a good job. Everybody is doing in their own way good job. But what I mean is, we are silently doing what we are doing. We are silently doing. So we are silently not only improving ourselves, but we are trying to improve the world silently. How? We are healing everybody silently. Every day we are doing mass healing of COVID patients, whether we know them or we do not know them. This has been happening since last year, March, I am doing. Globally, we are doing. All the acharyas, all the senior healers, we are doing every day. We are giving mass healing to all the people who are suffering and all the people who are not suffering, protecting them, shielding them, guarding them. Silently, we are not showing off about anything. People who are already suffering, who are approaching to us specifically, specially, we are doing healings for them. We don't need to show off and create, do TV shows to show, oh, look, this is what we are doing. We are doing it because we don't need to prove anything to human beings. We are God's soldiers. God is watching over us. God is empowering us, and that's what we're doing. So anyway, let me not digress. So what is happening? You have to understand every time you face a problem, what is the real cause of the problem? What is the challenge? Why is it happening? Even when you're attracted to something very positive, giving you an example. Um, Somebody just shared with me, I'm not naming, that she is a very qualified and very skilled professional. She's been very, very, being deeply attracted to spirituality, enjoying spiritual speeches, understanding. Now, what is happening basically? That soul is hungry for spiritual knowledge, wisdom. It needs to be nurtured. It is desiring growth. It is wanting to expand beyond its profession. So this is a time when the universe wants to give it, and the soul wants to, thirsty people, you give them water, they drink, drink, drink. The hungry people, you give them food, they eat, eat, eat. So when the moment that hunger will be over, you will stop eating and there will be only maintenance happening. So if the soul is at this point of time hungry, let it eat. If the soul is thirsty, let it drink. Quench the thirst of the soul, quench the hunger of the soul. It's okay. If at that point of time you're not paying attention to, while you're eating, while you're drinking, you're not paying attention to where is your bag or whether your bed is well made, doesn't matter. The moment your hunger, your thirst is over, then you will pay attention to your, environment around you. So if at the moment your profession is not, you're not being able to give so much of attention to your profession, it's fine. Let your soul guide you. Let your soul take. That is your real purpose of life. It will go beyond everything, beyond becoming an ordinary engineer, an ordinary doctor, an ordinary. You will go way beyond that. Way, way, way beyond that. Master was a chemical engineer. Did that stop him from becoming a great scientist? Did that stop him from becoming a great, great spiritual teacher? But yes, that being, that being chemical engineer, that was a stepping stone. He stepped on that, took the next step and grew beyond it. My studying chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, did it stop me from going beyond it? Going into psychology, going into training, going into tourism, going into spirituality. Those were just steps. Ground floor to first floor to second floor. My soul knew I had to reach on the 10th floor. So it just used the steps to rise high. Don't get stuck in your life that okay, this is my aim, I want to become a very good, I want to become a doctor. Maybe your soul has decided to become not only a very good doctor, but maybe beyond that, not only a good engineer, but much beyond that. Let your soul take charge of it and you see where it takes you, where you rise. And then what happens is, right, I hope I've been able to answer. So what happens is your power of your soul becomes more and more and more. That 10-watt bulb, the more the soul is being fed, the more electricity you're giving to that particular bulb, you are increasing the wattage of the bulb. It will gradually become 10 to 100, 100 to 500, 500 to 1000, and it will become 1 lakh. Make that your target. When you have a higher target, small targets will be taken care of. I'm giving you an example. Your target is to drive from here to, for example, Himachal. I'm talking about, I'm sitting in Bombay. My target is to, for example, drive from here to Dehradun. If I am driving from here to Dehradun, anyway, I will be crossing over, Gujarat, I will be crossing over Delhi, I'll be crossing over parts of UP. So even if those little small targets are already taken care of, probably I had decided some point in my life that, my target is to go to Delhi by driving. But now that I'm going to Dehradun, I'm crossing over Delhi and going. So my small targets are already taken care of. So when you fix the higher target, your small targets will be taken care of as it is. Your wishes will be fulfilled even before wishing it. Okay. So this COVID that is happening, it does not only have a physical purpose, it has a higher purpose and an inner purpose. Understand that. When you understand that, you will be able to handle it. When you are able to handle it, it will not affect you in any way. It's just like when you're driving, it passes away. For me, that COVID just passed away. For me, that cancer just passed away. For me, that accident just passed away. I kept on driving. I kept on moving. That is how you will go on. Okay. So I'm sorry, this just came. So I share all this with you. I hope it helps you in, to a certain extent to handle what you should and how you should. So take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for your attention and time, giving me an opportunity to serve you. We will do the closing prayer because it's already time. I'm sorry. I've taken up your time. We could not do the angel healing today. So we will do it on next day, Monday, we will do the angel healing then, okay? So we'll do the closing prayer. The Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, Guru Master Chokutsi, Mahaguruji Mailing, all the great ones, Holy Gurus, Holy Masters, Saints, Archangels, Holy Angels, Spiritual Helpers, all invisible helpers, Buddha Konan, Buddha Shakyamuni, all Bodhisattvas, all beings of light, our divine self and higher soul. We gratefully thank you for giving us a clear understanding of what is our life purpose, why we were born, why specifically I am born to do what is my life purpose, why am I born, what am I supposed to do, and how am I supposed to do it. God, please guide us. We surrender you. We are super receptive, super conductive, and super grateful. We surrender you to guide us, to show us the way, to show us the destination, and we will walk on that path. Thank you for divinely protecting us, our family members. Thank you for protecting all our belongings, dreams, desires, wishes, all our possessions. Thank you, God, for all your miraculous healings, your divine blessings, miraculous blessings. and every gift, every moment of life that you have given us. Every moment is so precious. Thank you. We are deeply, deeply grateful. Thank you in full faith. So be it, so be it, so it is. Om, Amen, Amin. Tathastu, tathastu, tathastu. So be it. Thank you very much, all of you, for giving me an opportunity. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Love you.